Welcome to Part 2 of the Cypress Cove Yacht Club's 2022 Boat Show in Fort Myers, Florida. What a day! Showing the Soling 1-meter radio-controlled sailboats and their competitiveness. Prior to the opening of the boat show, I visited each sailboat on display and asked its captains to tell me something that makes their boat special. We'll start right here with the 007 boat owned by Bob Shearer. Now you gotta love this boat. I call it the Stars and the Stripes. Colorful. And how about that sail number? 007? Well, Bob's a veteran of the Army Security Agency. Do you think that might be the connection? Or do you simply think he's an avid James Bond fan? Well, either way, it's a beautiful boat. Next up is Carl Wombo.
Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, John.
What can you tell me about your boat?
Well, I've been sailing for 2.5 years, and my wife bought it for me for my birthday 2 years ago. And it happened to be right at the beginning of the pandemic, so I've been sailing through the pandemic. What was nice about my boat is that I have a very convenient. I have a place to store my boat right across from my apartment in a cage. It fits nicely, and I have it on a golf cart so that I can transport it. I live in the A wing, so I have to walk all the way over to the F wing. And I named it after my late daughter, Carla Ray. And then
I see it's raked like a race car.
And the number up here is in memory of my son, whose birthday was June 25th, so 625.
All right. Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
Lovely boat. This is the Dave Wolf boat. What can you tell me about your boat, Dave?
Well, I leased this boat from the club for the rest of my life if I want, but I'm in the process of acquiring a kit, and I'll be building my own here over the summer.
Yeah, most of us have bought our boats, but a few have actually built them. And have you ever built models of any kind before?
Yeah. Since I was about 5 years old, I've been building model airplanes and flying them.
Oh, really?
From gliders, rubber bands to motors and RC. I got in RC gliders and then I got married.
All right. Had you ever sailed before?
Just in with a boat, no.
Yeah.
No, never had. But I came down here one day and Tom put a radio in my hands and I was hooked.
Bill, tell me about your boat.
Well, I can tell you I'm the third sailor. It originally belonged to someone who has sailed as a child. And he passed away. He left it to the yacht club. And then someone else here got it for $100 for a while, and he gave up sailing. And so I obtained it.
Right. I like the front sail. Is that a rainbow, do you think?
Yes. That was applied by the guy that I got it from.
All right. Have a fun day.
Thank you.
By the way, that's my fourth Soling.
What happened to the first three?
Well, the first one,
I testified that.
I guess I'm going to get interviewed after all.
Yeah.
The first one, Jack has used for parts. The second one I sold. The third one, CJ is sailing. And this is my fourth one.
Okay. And it does fine. And the symbol on the sail represents what?
Hurricane.
That's what I thought.
There's supposed to be 3 stripes here too, but they faded.
Tom, you're one of the few guys in the Model Yacht Club that actually was a real sailor. You've sailed the real boats. Did you race them?
I've raced many races, yes.
What class of boats were those?
Everything from these to I had a 40-foot Morgan 40, North American 40. Sailed in 13 Port Huron and Mackinac races.
Oh my.
And I sailed other boats also in Mackinac races, Chicago to Mackinac.
Got to be an advantage when it comes to racing a model boat.
No.
No? knowledge of the winds?
Knowledge maybe, but you sail a boat by the seat of your pants, and these don't do that.
All right, well, thank you.
Okay.
Well, Manny, you represent the international contingent. We're going to meet the female contingent, but
Yes.
you've got a lovely accent. Where is that from?
Yes, we are from Colombia, from Cali,
Colombia.
Colombia. So, and a friend of mine invited me to come to USA. So I told my wife, I said, "Do you want to go back?" And she said, "By all means, I love USA."
Tell me about your boat.
So, my last town was Ithaca, New York. Ithaca, New York is Finger Lakes. And we have the big lakes there. And I did sailing there in a Catalina 27 sailboat.
Does that mean it was 27 feet long?
Yeah, 27 feet long, yes.
Well, this one's 3 feet long, and it's one of the more colorful boats. I love that turquoise hull.
Yeah, that I got it there. We got it there in the, right here in Punta Gorda, I think.
Where did you
We
get
got-
it?
we
Punta
got it
Gorda.
in Punta Gorda.
Okay. Then we have this boat. Number 3, that's an easy number to remember. And it belongs to Judy. And Judy, you're the only female sailor that the yacht club's got.
Yes, I am.
How's that feel?
Lonely. I would encourage other women to join this club. It's fun. The sailing is great.
What do you
And
like most about sailing the model?
what do I like most
Yeah.
about it? Well, sailing. I like sailing it.
For me, it's the competition.
Oh, well,
I've
I-
tried to go sailing with my boat alone, and I get bored real quick. I like the competition.
I get very competitive when I'm out there, and I love to win.
All right, so this brings us to a very interesting display, I think. What does one of these things look like in pieces? CJ,
Yes.
tell me
John.
about your boat.
Well, for those of you who have probably watched some of John's others videos, this is the boat that was rescued out of the pond. And I think the video is, so what happens when you sink your boat?
Yeah, my
So-
boat sunk. Now what?
That's it. So I decided that after we retrieved it, I would gut this and then rebuild it up. But today, for today's purposes, I thought it would be cool to show the internal components that make one of these boats sail. And obviously you have a battery, and then you have to have a receiver for the transmitter, and then you have to have a device that controls the rudder, known as the rudder servo, and then over here you have one that controls the sails, called the sail servos. And with the transmitter,
Yeah, what's involved with it? What controls do you use?
okay, well, these transmitters are set up so that this steers the boat right-left.
All right.
Okay, and this one over here controls the sail location or sail trim. So if you have it all the way up, the sails come all the way out. So if you're trying to catch the wind behind you, you're good. Or if you pull it all the way in, then the sail comes in tight. So if you got a broadside wind, you can take most advantage of it. And then you also have minor adjustments for trim, depending upon the conditions of the weather. So you can see, if you were to look at this one, the sail servo, as I move the lever up and down, you'll see the wheel turn.
Yeah.
And then if you notice, when I make a thin adjustment, you see how little the wheel turns, left or right.
I do.
Okay, and that applies to the rudder servo also. You do exactly the same thing with the rudder servo.
So it's pulling lines in effect.
Yes, yeah. This boat, unfortunately, is hard to see all that. That's the inside, and
All
this
those things mount on there.
mount in here. Correct. Yes.
The more colorful boats, pretty easy to spot when he's on the pond, and it belongs to Marv. Marv, tell me about your
All
boat.
right. Well, this boat was not one I made. I bought it, as many did, from another club. And it was pretty well done. It's lasted okay. It's gone through a few battles from time to time.
Did it already have the sails on it?
Not these sails, no. I discovered early on that I often couldn't tell the difference between the front and the back of the boat when it was out there. And that's the reason for the sails. I wasn't trying to be special or colorful, but I can simply better tell which end of the boat is my front.
Yeah, and for somebody that hasn't sailed one of these model boats, that sounds funny to say, so I could tell the front from the back, but they're a long ways away when you're out there going around.
Oh, they sure are.
Yeah.
They sure are. So it has helped me, to, I had enough problems getting started. I'd never sailed in my life. So a 3 years ago, I guess I started, and it's been useful. It's been helped me very much.
All right. And I love your boat.
Good.
Here's another boat that's pretty easy to spot when it's out there on the water. I mean, is this lime green or what? Jim, tell me about your boat, because you're a new sailor.
Yes, I'm a new sailor and never sailed before. Love this hobby, about 3 months now, and I got some very good advice and help from fellow members, and the Commodore and John, among others. And we went to Sarasota to see a legendary boat remodeler, Boathouse John, and we wound up with this boat. And I didn't buy it on my own. I had lots of help. And
Well, you mean people chipped in money to help you buy your boat?
they chipped in everything but cash.
That was a fun day. I was a part of that. It was like a sailor's outing. We all went to Sarasota to look for boats.
Yeah, and I think we had Big Macs at the end. On the way we came right home and all had a Big Mac.
Yeah. Now I'll have to send them a bill for a commercial.
Anyway, it's a great hobby. I'm new to it, as I said, and recommend it for everyone.
Well, you
And,
seem to be addicted. I mean, what's the draw? What do you like?
the draw is that you have to focus on it. Once you put the boat in the water, if you're not focused, you'll think you're selling somebody else's boat, and you forget about your little troubles. And if you have big ones, they kind of fade away too. And thankfully, I don't have any big ones right now.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay. This operates the rudder.
No, this one right here
This one
operates the rudder, and it
See
goes side to side like this.
Oh, side to side.
Side to side. See how the rudder's turning?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
See
This
it?
one operates the sails. Push it up, lets the sails out. Pull it in, sails come in.
Great.
Yep.
Did you catch that now?
Oh, make the rudder wiggle. Hey, look at that. Jack,
Thank
are
you,
you
Jack.
trying to recruit another sailor?
That's my goal today.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. You bet.
Thanks for coming, Charlie.
Okay, thank you, John.
All right. Well, Jack is the Commodore of the Yacht Club, and Jack, how on earth do you become the Commodore to the Yacht Club?
Sherry Schreier came to me and said, "We don't have anybody who will be Commodore. If we switch the race days to Fridays, will you be Commodore?" And I said, "Yes, I will." So that's how it all happened.
Now, why do you think she wanted you? I heard a rumor that you maybe sailed real boats before you sailed model boats.
I started racing sailboats with my father when I was 10 years old. So I've been racing sailboats for 63 years. As a matter of fact, the first boat that I sailed with my father was a Lightning, and the number of the Lightning was 4911. And that's the number that I made this boat be, so it's kind of like going back to the first days that I sailed with my father 63 years ago.
Memories.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, another thing that you brought to the Yacht Club, though, is none of us newbies knew any of the right-of-way rules or anything like that, and with the help of Tom, you got some models of boats built, and you give us sailing lessons lessons and wind tips and rules of the road, and I've noticed crashes are down.
Well, I think that when you first start sailing, it's overwhelming because there's so many things that you have to know and you have to learn. But by going through, we go almost every Wednesday, we have a little lesson where we put the model boats on the tabletop and we go through the rules and the wind and how you round marks and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good way to learn, especially because you can't be on the boat. You can't sit on the boat, so you've got to figure out what's going on from here.
Jack, several of the sailors I've talked to this morning are renting their boats, and I started out for the first couple of months with a rental boat and found out I was hooked on the hobby, wanted my own boat. But tell us about the rental program, because I've never heard anything so fair in my life.
Yeah, we have 4 rental boats. Right now, 3 of them are out being rented. We have 1 boat that's available to be rented now. The rental agreement is that you give us $100 and you can sail the boat for the rest of your life if you want to. What we're trying to do is get people to come and sail with us, to learn to sail, to learn to race. And so we make it really convenient and easy for people to do that.
Yeah, this is the rental boat Jack was talking about. And I'm telling you, this thing is beautiful, newly painted. Some deep shade of blue.
Yeah, there we go. So John, the roles are reversed now.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about your boat?
I can tell you a lot about this boat.
Okay.
This is the Soling 1 meter class, and it's a kit. I'm an impatient guy, and a kit that takes 65 hours to build is beyond me. You're actually going to build one. But I was willing to pay bigger bucks and go buy one. So I went up to Sarasota and found a guy named Boatyard John. And he had quite a few boats available for sale. And this one is the one I picked. It's the new vacuum hull design. Same dimensions, just different manufacturer. And it's a brand new boat. He built it and it's new. I'm the first sailor to own it. I wanted to hold the boat so people can see. These boats have a minimum weight. It's not a maximum. They can be as heavy as you want. But the minimum weight is 10 pounds. This boat is measured carefully. It's 10 pounds, 2 ounces. Now, if you got a 10-pound boat, 7 of it is right down here in the keel, filled with lead. Keeps the boat from falling over sideways. This is a sail for air. This is a sail in the water. It tries to counteract what's happening up here so the boat doesn't tip over. Instead, it takes the path of least resistance, which is forward. So that's what the thing looks like when you're holding it in one hand.
So can you turn the boat the other way so we can at least see the deck? There we go.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. I'll try and...
Yeah, I'm not important. The boat's important.
Yes, yes. It's a pretty blue boat that you have also.
Yeah, and some people call it the 22. It's a giant number 2, but you can see through it, so it looks like 22.
Yeah.
So there you have it. We've reached the end. You've seen the sailboats and met the captains, and we learned not to put the subject between the camera lens and the sun. Thanks for watching.